Live. Yes, I'm live, both Instagram and Facebook. So, um, listen, every year, August 1, the Common App opens, and it's kind of an exciting time. It's almost like a milestone for high school seniors to experience knowing that the Common App is open. So, if you're wondering what the Common App is, it's a membership organization. There are a little over 900 schools that use the Common App, and it's a way for students to apply in one location to many different schools. So there are colleges all over, not just in the US, but there are colleges in Canada, um, China, I know different parts of Europe who are also a part of the Common App. Where students can apply. And what's really nice about the Common App, it's a very efficient process. So you put in some common demographic, like your name, your age, or your birth date, your date of birth, your mailing address, your school, like your transcript will get uploaded by your high school admissions, high school guidance counselor. So it's very easy to apply. Your single personal statement is that personal statement. And of course, there may be supplemental essays with the schools. Now, I wanted to come on live today. I wanted to share this because what typically happens once the Common App opens August 1, students get really excited. They're just like ready to go. But I want students to hold off, and here's why. A couple of reasons. So I'm going to share a few reasons why you hold off, but what you do instead. So don't rush to apply, because of that like August 1 opening. But this is what I want you to do instead. So one of the reasons why I always tell students to wait is because even though the Common App opens August 1, sometimes schools lag behind with their opening. So it's often, or it's not uncommon to see additional supplemental questions added September, or later in August, after August 1. And so if you focused on maybe a supplemental question that's there, or you didn't even do it and you thought, okay, I'm done. Well, some things may have changed. So it's, and some schools actually don't open their deadlines, although the Common App opens August 1. There are some schools that open after August 1. So, that August 1 is kind of the first date, so to speak. Okay. Another reason why I always tell students to wait is because sometimes there are just issues and glitches. So let's go back in time, not too far long ago, to Monday, July 27th. Okay, like a few days ago. The ACT organization opened with their fall ACT dates, and within no time, the website just went down. It was just overloaded. People were trying to log in. And then next thing you know, they posted that, we had to shut the system down, and we'll let you know when we're going to open it up again. So you don't want to do that with the Common App. You want to let the technical stuff kind of work itself out, and just kind of sit back. You don't have to feel like, okay, August 1, let's start on these applications. No, just kind of let it work itself out a little bit. Because there typically are tech issues, especially since they've done some new things. And I'll talk about one of the new things, but they've done some new things on the counselor side for high school guidance counselors. That's a whole new interface, a whole new layout. I was a part of a presentation where I got to see the old, I knew the old, but got to see the new. And I was like, oh, I like the new. So, there may be some issues with that on that end, but, you just don't want to add that unnecessary layer of stress to your life right now. Okay. So, they're typically technical issues. And then sometimes there may be even formatting issues with your essay. So I always tell students, whether you're, logging in like mid-August, September-ish, whenever you're doing it, always, always, always write your personal statement essay outside of the portal. Please don't sit there and type it and do it there. And I know that sounds like, okay, of course we wouldn't do that, but you want to do it outside. And I always recommend Google Docs because it's in the cloud, it's saved. If you have Word or a text editor on your laptop or your personal computer and that crashes, you've now lost all that work and you don't want to do that. The other reason why I like Google Docs is because sometimes the text editor and also MS Word don't format well. So I've seen students who will do, I love the Google Suite for all kinds of reasons, but I always tell students use Google Doc, not just because it's cloud-based, but when you copy your essay and you paste it, it retains a lot of that formatting. I can tell when a student didn't listen to me because it's like a big chunk of words. You've lost your paragraphs, you've lost your indentation, you've lost all of that. So use Google Doc, keep it in the cloud, because chances are it's your story. Your personal statement is your story. If done right, you are telling your story, and you can use that again and again on scholarship applications. If the other schools you're applying to do not use the Common App, maybe they use their own school application, or maybe you're applying to another group of like maybe Apply Texas or through the coalition, something like that. So you may be able to use that essay as well. So put it in the cloud, okay? Now, I stated early that I do not want you rushing off after August 1 applying. I'm going to tell you what you will do though, okay? So I like to hold off, and this is what students should do instead. Okay, so I want you to listen real close, okay? Number one, I tell students, so go ahead over to commonapp.org, all right? Go to the website, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to do commonapp.org explore. Okay, so it's www.commonapp.org/explore. And here's what you're going to do, because I find that there are a lot of resources on the Common App website that students simply don't take advantage of. And with the Explore, you can search for all kinds of things. You can search for location, for region, type of school, public or private. You can search on the activities. I mean, all kinds of really good things of their membership schools. But there are two things in particular that I really want you to look for. Number one, I want you to find schools that are waiving college application fees. So they not waive, but they don't require a college application fee. So that's the number one thing. And I'll tell you number two in just a moment, okay? So imagine if you had a school on your list where you didn't have to pay the fee. After you explore and you do your research and you find out, yes, this is a great academic fit, and you look at the other factors of the school and, you realize like this could be a good fit. It would be really nice to apply knowing that there's no money out of your pocket, because here's the reality. On average, there was a study done a few years back. The average application fees fall between about $43 and about $50 per application. Some are upward. There are like 50 or so schools where it's like 75 and up. Listen, most students are applying to maybe 8, 9, 10. I've heard students applying, not my students. I think like I have a cutoff, a limit, but they're applying to like maybe 12, 13 schools. Let's just do the math. Let's just say a student applies to 10 schools. We'll make it really easy, right? And let's just go on the low end of $43. You do the math, okay? We're talking $430 in simply college application fees. That's a hidden expense that families aren't considering when it comes to applying to schools. So if you can just quickly pull up a list of schools by going right to the Common App's website, and you'll see it once you scroll down on that financial aid little tab, and it's going to give you a drop down, and you click on schools that do not have application fees, you may find a gym or two. And it would totally be worth it to find a school that does not require a fee. Now, here's the second thing I want you to do when you're on the Common Apps Explore page. I want you to then check on, this part's under financial aid. I want you to check for schools that offer need-based and merit-based aid. Now, you need to know what your number is, your household number, your family's EFC, expected family contribution, and know kind of what strategy you should apply. If you're high need, kind of middle need, or low need, to determine, and then looking at your academic profile in terms of your grade, your ranking, your test scores, if you were able to take them, to know kind of which approach you should really take for a particular school. So I'm kind of giving a blanket statement here as to whether or not you should pursue need-based aid or merit-based aid. But this is what I want you to do when you go to Explore, okay, on the Common Board. There's so many Common App. Okay, let me get my words together. On the commonapp.org/explore. So when you click on that financial aid tab, you can find schools that offer aid to international students. You can check merit-based aid, and you can also check for need-based aid. Alrighty. And so again, these are membership schools. So one of the 900 plus schools that offer these types of aid. And again, it's one way to begin to build your list, focusing on affordability. So that's one thing I definitely want students to do. Don't just go to the website and start working on your Common App application. No, take advantage of some of the other resources. Okay. Now, the other thing you're not going to do in terms of running off and just starting to apply, I want you to work on your personal statement essays. If you have not already done that, get started on those before school starts. You know, some students are starting mid-August, a little bit later in August, depends on where you live, maybe September after Labor Day. But go ahead and knock that essay out. You will thank me later. I'm telling you. And then there's this new COVID question. They wanted to provide a space for students to talk about how COVID-19 has impacted them without taking up space in your personal statement essay. So personal statement essay on the Common App is a 650 word max. That's kind of your core story. And then this supplemental is 250 words, the COVID, and it talks about the impact. And because they want to know, you know, what was the impact, because they care about your health, well-being. They talked about your finances, disruptions to technology, disruptions to learning. So it gives you an opportunity to talk about it if that happened to you. Now, I did a podcast episode, and I'll probably just drop the link a few episodes back where I talked about this new COVID question and what to do and how to approach it, what you don't need to cover, but I'll just go ahead and say it here. You don't need to talk about broad global issues, maybe with technology and things like that, because there's a counselor section. They have a whole lot of words and questions and, you know, place for your high school guidance counselor to talk about the major impact that it's had on students in your area, students from your school. So think more personally, how has this impacted me? You know, what's happened as a result in terms of my health, my well-being, access to technology, family circumstances, finances, things like that. Okay. So again, just wanted to hop on quickly. 2 things I want you to do while we just let, you know, August 1 just kind of come and go before just hitting submit right away on the Common App. Alrighty. So thank you for joining me, Pam Andrews, the Scholarship Shark. I help high school students get into their dream college and secure scholarships to pay for. Bye.